Welcome to Twisted Ignition. I'm Nate.
I'm Rick.
I'm Mike. And I don't know about you guys, but I am super excited to get this 671 blower in this truck. This is the main reason why we built the truck the way we built it, for this awesome, beautiful engine going in.
As you guys can see, one day I was on Facebook Marketplace on the toilet shopping.
As one does, best time to shop.
Agreed.
Everybody does the best shopping on Facebook on the toilet. Agreed. And I came across this bad boy. And it was dirt cheap locally. And I ran out. I was the first guy to message him. I ran out and grabbed it. And while I was there buying the blower, I seen the motor sitting in the corner. And the guy didn't really want me to buy the whole complete thing because he says it hasn't run in like 10 years and wasn't sure how good it still was. Guess we're going to find out.
Yeah, with all that, we are going to take apart as much as we can, comfortably, and go over everything to make sure we are good to go. So when we hit that key, it starts right up. That's the hope. That's really the hope.
All right.
I'll get the front.
Oh, you want the place where you can actually grab something?
It's not my blower.
We did just have this mocked up here for... got stuck. Nate, you want to grab that?
Yep, I'll grab the intake.
Just so everybody knows, these things are super freaking heavy. Yeah, they are.
Of the wonderfuls is taking off these valve covers. Yeah.
Those things are huge. Those rocker arms are huge.
They are big. So we did take this a quick look-see beforehand, and we did find out that there's a couple of valve springs. They have these like inner retainer springs in here, and they're broken.
Yeah, so we're going to end up changing all of the valve springs and seals since we got it apart. We're not going to go any further than that, only because I'm kind of a big block guy. I don't want to dump a lot of money into the small block, because if I'm going to do anything, I'm going to put that blower on a big block. But for now, we do want to see if this motor is going to work. So we're at least going to, fix what's wrong with it and go from there.
Yeah.
TLC never hurt anybody.
And that's all because we have this on hand, and we need to get that to Outer Banks. We only have...
Not much time.
Not much time. Yeah, a very, very short period of time now. So real quick, we're gonna show you guys one of the valves, and then after that, then there's just 15 more to go. He's gonna take off the rocker arm. We have a simple tool. You wanna make sure too, when you're pulling out your push rods, you wanna make sure that you know which side is touching your rocker arm and which side's touching your cam. You wanna keep these in line, especially after it ran, because they wear into each other and they make a perfect groove with each other. You don't want to mess that up. We're using a rubber air chuck. They have some tools where it threads into the spark plug.
Yeah, buy the tool. It's not very expensive. We just don't have one here.
Yeah, you're gonna put air into the cylinder. That will hold the valve up so you could compress the spring.
Got it? My arm's probably in the viewing way, but he's just grabbing these two little holders.
So yeah, Mike took out, they're called keepers. It's these guys right here. They just lock around the valve stem. You want to make sure when you're putting them in, there is a tapered side. So you take the bigger side on the top, the thinner side goes down and just kind of wedges the valve spring cap on.
And just like that, valve spring comes out. Now this one's actually whole. That one's not broken at all. Watch yourself, there is shims on the bottom.
Just do that in reverse to get the valve spring on.
And there is two little seals in here if you're going to change the seal. There's an O-ring on the second groove down. Little O-ring comes off. And then there's a main seal down lower that we got to pry up. all the valves, we flipped the motor over, and just to check out what was underneath the oil pan, we do have a high volume oil pump, 4-volt mains, and it looks like there's some aftermarket pistons in there. So far, everything looks pretty decent, good parts.
Are you sure about that?
So we're gonna gasket it back up, and I checked everything seems tight. We're gonna gasket it back up and hope for the best, so.
Yeah.
Now that the engine's painted, thanks to our buddy Rick, we are now going to rehome the Budget Build C-10.
Yeah. First time it's moved.
In over a year.
Quite some time. Yeah. Let's jack this thing up, get these jack stands out, let it sit down on the ground by itself.
On the actual suspension?
Yeah. Nice and slow.
Yeah, right.
Well, with that jack, that wasn't slow.
That was as slow as it was going, buddy.
Alright. Bring them down with your feet.
Yep.
Got it, Bart?
I don't know. You should check.
Yep,
Okay.
Bart.
Alright, we're good. Yep, didn't expect that to happen.
Really reduced the steering radius of that last year.
Yeah, sure it does.
You should see the sidewall.
Towards you.
No.
We got the engine off the engine stand. We're installing our flywheel.
And we're gonna let the Torque Master Mike torque it down.
Well, I'm honored, boys.
What are we torquing it to?
We are doing this in 3 different sequences in star pattern, of course. So first is 20 foot-pounds. Then you go back over it again for 40. And then the final torque is 65. Back for 40. Now for 65.
So you know it's a lot harder on my hand than it is your torque wrench.
I
I'm
gathered.
gonna use 2 hands. I was powering through it.
I was impressed.
Commitment.
Yeah.
Commitment.
Squirrel knows a thing about not committing.
Yep.
And that has been torqued to spec the correct way. You're welcome.
I did all. Look at it.
Looks like bobber treads.
It does look like bobber treads. So we already took the torque converter off and put a new seal on here. We didn't show you guys that, but you don't need to see that. So we're just gonna put that motor on this thing, and luckily I think we can jack it up high enough to leave it right on the bench.
That is a good possibility.
I'm hoping so. Breeze. Now we use this little cranky thing. All right, now uppy. Is it catching your side?
It's close.
A little more.
I'm pretty good on my side.
Mine's got a little bit there. Alright, mine's in. So we got the bolts, and we're just gonna. I'll get Doug. Mike, would you like to find a torch spots for this?
If I mean,
I'll get Doug.
you want me to look them up, I will.
I'm okay with Huggin' Duggins. That's
Well-
how I've always rolled.
Well, then that's what we're gonna have to do.
Look at this chrome socket.
But it's a champ and it still works.
It does still work, and it's not cracked.
Should I extend the handle?
I wouldn't do that.
No,
No, I don't
don't
think you
extend-
should do that.
Ooh, it actually was a hair looser than where we go.
Click.
I mean, I know there's probably torque specs for these, but
Look,
like you said, time crunch.
if you don't have one of these, They're working their weight in gold. Look at that. I just picked up the whole tranny. No tilting. No nothing.
That's nice. No, it is nice.
They're working their weight.
Yeah.
Except for when you get here, and you just want to go that little extra.
You don't get it.
You don't get
You
it.
don't
You
get it.
don't get it.
Need a little steering up front there. There you go. Easy there, big fella.
Sorry.
Easy. Your boots, you're stepping on them. There you go. Definitely should have.
That's a lot of weight to be swinging around in limbo, so kind of catches you off guard.
Alright, so we gotta bring the truck to C-10.
Hey, before we get too far, we need to figure out who's going underneath the truck.
You got a good point there. You know how we figure that out, don't we? Rock, paper, scissors. We also introduced a couple new rules that if somebody loses,
We have a redemption shot that we're calling Double or Nothing.
Double or nothing.
You want to explain?
So, the rules of double or nothing. Let's just say, for the sake of argument, Nate loses.
for the sake of argument.
I mean, yeah. If Nate loses, he can say double or nothing, which means there's a penalty. He has to be either struck, slapped, or whacked with something in the garage as the penalty. That gives his chance to go again against the three of us, two of us. If he loses again, he gets a second penalty and has to crawl under the truck anyway. Oh, by the way, we don't have to call double or nothing if we don't want to.
Yes.
It's
we
only-
can opt out.
We
of it.
can opt out of it, but I'm pretty sure most people are going to want to see us in pain. So, all right, would you please say it, sir?
I'm opting out. I don't like pain. Or I'm just gonna wait.
All right, ready?
Rock, paper, scissors says shoot. He beat us both.
Ooh, 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 ooh.
Hold on.
I'd just like to point out, you both lose.
I mean, this is the first win for you for this year, so
That is true.
be
I'm in the
thankful.
negatives.
Be thankful.
Rock, paper, scissors says shoot. Ah!
Oh!
My first loss.
Are you gonna do it?
No, I'll go underneath. Because
Okay.
that's actually an easier job on this one.
Congratulations on your first solid win.
Actually,
Yeah, 2025 is gonna be my year. It's not.
I'm just going under. What?
I guarantee if me or Mike
I
lost,
can't fit under there. What do you want?
I guarantee if me or Mike lost, we would not be putting it on the list.
No, I'm just putting it on the left so I can get on the creeper. I can't put it up too high.
Okay, fair. Go ahead.
Because the engine hose ain't gonna pick it up. Actually, we could bring the truck up until it's just about that height. That's a good idea. I'm glad I thought about it. I got the underneath.
There's still a trans mount that needs to be put in.
Whatever.
Okay.
Whoa. Lower it.
Because we got everything put together and it went so smooth, as per usual here on this channel, we overstepped a crucial step because we got too excited.
Yeah.
We still got to scuff and paint the front end frame and the firewall.
Yeah, we were rushing a little bit, and it went nicely together. And we're like, "Oh, I forgot the motor mounts." Looked down and realized it was all greasy. And I'm like, "We still need to paint the firewall and all the frame."
Yep, so we're gonna just kind of rewind time. Everything's all nice and painted up. It's nice and
You know what? I'll grab you guys and we'll show you.
So we went with a gloss black on the frame and then like a semi-gloss, sort of a flat back on the firewall. Now that that's all painted up and ready to go and we are no longer super excited, I mean we still are, don't get us wrong, but now we can do everything proper. in typical Rick fashion, he lucked out because the truck is on the lift and we were able to max out our engine hoist and put the engine up, the truck up higher.
Yeah, I'm comfortable. For some reason, the Chevy two-wheel drives come in two-piece cross member. All right, my little helper came out since I'm underneath, and he's the perfect height right now. So he's gonna tighten up the training bolt for me. Thanks, buddy. You gotta. There's two hands there, buddy. Oh, there you go. You actually made it pretty tight. Good job.
Go ahead.
Oh,
Don't hold on to that.
where is it?
Put that. Yeah, that goes in there.
Yeah, I need help.
That wasn't as easy as you thought it was gonna be, was it?
What's up?
Oh, there goes your,
Yeah, my spark plug. So I didn't paint in where the spark plugs were. That's why I turned it over so hard.
It's funny, I don't know.
Good job, buddy.
Okay.
High five.
Here up at the top, we have our motor mounts in. I'm gonna hold up here while Rick
I'm
tightens.
still down here.
Yep. Go ahead.
Ready?
Yep.
Next step, what we're gonna do is putting the harmonic balancer in along with the front pulleys. Oh.
Loosely fitted the pulley for the supercharger, but we did not torque it down, so we are torquing down.
I'm gonna try to manhand this and see if I can hold back 60 foot-pounds.
You ready?
I'm ready.
Yeah.
60 foot-pounds, buddy. 60 foot-pounds.
It's not official until I get a double click.
Oh, Jesus. So as you can see, we got the valve covers on with the gaskets. We got the fuel pump block-off plate with the gaskets. And we got the intake manifold on with the gaskets, and I just tightened them up by hand. We are going to torque them. Normally, I joke around and everything's ugga-duggas, but this is one thing that you actually want to torque. It's 30 foot-pounds, and you have to start from the inside and work your way out both ways. He's sticking in a stud to hold down the distributor. While he's doing that, I obviously got the water pump on. This is a short water pump. We had to switch to a short water pump. And we're about ready to put the distributor in. I turned the crank top dead center with the piston number 1 coming up. And you're going to point this at number 1 cylinder. You do have to have a small distributor point style. It's point style, but it's digital. It's electronic ignition version of it. But you can't run like an HEI or something like that. There's not enough room with a blower. Now hopefully, when you're sticking this down in there, hopefully the oil pump is facing the right direction. Or we'll have to stick a screwdriver down there and it's not. Is that not turning?
It is not turning. We have a big problem. Like a very, very big problem. Last night, me, Rick, and Mike spent all night ripping this entire engine back out, rebuilding the oil pump, and throwing it back in. So we are now back to where we were before with putting the distributor back in.
See how this goes this time. Well, we got this on the bench. We are just going to go over it real quickly. Supposedly it's been rebuilt, but after that motor conundrums that we've had, I'm not quite sure if it is. So we're going to open it up a little bit and see what we got.
Well, we're gonna go and take a little bit more in-depth look of this off camera. If we find anything a little on the concerning side, we will be right back with you guys then.
We found that the bearing seals and bearings themselves aren't looking so good in there. You can't see it now, but there's supposed to be a sealed bearing, and the seal actually left loose on the backside. So we are going, I think, to attempt to change these bearings and seals. Unfortunately, I guess the guy lied to me and it wasn't rebuilt. It does seem to have good parts in it. Like the clearances and everything are good, so it should work. It's just they didn't change. If they did anything, they didn't change the bearings and stuff. This Outer Banks thing is getting harder and harder to get to. We only got what, 3 days? 3 full days yet?
3 full days.
Halves, so
yeah.
We'll see. I'm gonna try.
We didn't really record it, but we got new bearings in the back of the blower, so the blower's all good. It should be buttoned up for the most part. To catch you guys up to speed with the front here, we have our new water pump pulley. We have the bracket for the alternator that we got attached in our alternator location. And we got our distributor plugged in and our wires ran and spark plugs in. We are working a little bit here and there on the power steering pump, but we're taking a quick break for that because
we're ready to put the blower on. Real quick, we're gonna mount this and then we're gonna put the blower on. Yes, this is heavy.
Yes, very heavy.
Anybody's
I got this. I mean, I'm really not doing much.
I got it.
Okay. All right. Look at that. Look at that.
Our alternator is actually perfect there.
Yeah.
and our pulley is in line.
That's a beautiful thing.
Look at Mike. It's documented. He has torqued down a blower once in his life.
Once in my life.
Oh, it clicked.
It did?
Yeah.
No, it didn't.
Oh, I could have swore I heard it click.
It did not
Did I
click.
not hear it click?
No, you're hearing things.
I heard it
I think
click.
you're just getting scared.
I was.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm a little nervous.
How do you feel, Mike? First blower torqued down?
It's awesome.
Look at that proud face. Proud face.
Awesome.
For the fuel regulator system, we are going with an air motive from Summit Racing. That is going to help dull down the pressure that's getting sent to the carburetors. Now, with this wonderful setup, it is for 2 carbs, so we have 2 exits on either side that are going straight to the carb. We have our main feed in from the fuel pump and our return line at the bottom here. This is also set up so you could have a pressure gauge on here and a vacuum line to go adjust the pressure for boost. Thank you. So we're gonna just mock this all up. All these fittings that we are using are, was it from Evil Energy that we got from Amazon. So they're fairly cheap for what they are. They're still a bit pricey when you buy a lot. So we're gonna go and screw in the male-to-male 6 adapters on the side. I'm just gonna be loose fitting everything. And we got 2 90s on either side. That's gonna basically go straight up. We have a male-male adapter for the 10. We got a hard 90, and we got our 8 male-to-male adapter with a straight. So We still have to tighten everything down. But we have a moose head.
And it does look like a moose or an elephant.
It does look like a moose, but
like
this is our fuel regulator system. I didn't realize.
Looks like something from Mega Man X.
Yeah. But we'll show you guys this more once it's on the supercharger, but this is going to be our setup that we're running for the fuel regulator.